I've just spent a very pleasant night in this campsite, which is just outside Potsdam on the outskirts of Berlin. I've checked out now and I'm walking along this old road, which I believe is going to lead somewhere interesting. So the campsite was situated along the banks of the river, and the river, I forget off the top of my head which river it is, it formed the border between East and West Germany back in the days of the Cold War. And having turned left to cross the river, suddenly we've got a much larger piece of abandoned road. Looking back, that orange post is a commemorative marker of a person who was shot dead by using a motorboat on this river. He was thought to be trying to get from one side to the other, and he was shot 4 times and killed immediately. In the middle of what feels like nowhere now, this is an extremely large, basically a bit of autobahn, maybe. Writing on the road. PKW. Someone in the comments can maybe tell me what PKW represents. There's the road, the river I should say, looking extremely peaceful and serene these days. And there we are, looking back at the very nice campsite that I almost found by accident. I wasn't intending. It's the end of my 9-day holiday, well, trip, moving a camper van that needed to be relocated from Malaga in Spain to Berlin, and I was just going to spend last night at a service station. It's somewhere where you can pay €3 for a shower, but I thought actually I'd try somewhere a little bit different and sort of found this on Google Maps. The location looked nice and it was very quiet, very peaceful. $21.50 for the night with no extras for the showers or toilets or anything like that, which was a nice change. And it's a beautiful sunny day, 13th of October 2025. The road seems to vanish as soon as we're over the bridge, but we do have this little footpath leading a bit further on. The river is running roughly east-west, so I'm currently walking south over the river. And there is still a reasonable amount of road still here. Paths leading off. I always love finding abandoned bits of road I should say, but I should think very few of them represent such a disturbing but important piece of history as this one does. So it appears I was incorrect to say that the river by the campsite where I was staying represented the border. It appears that the border, represented by the Berlin Wall as the dotted line, is here, and the actual border between what counted as Soviet-ruled East Berlin and Western-ruled West Berlin, West Germany I should say, was around there. So there's a region here in between the wall and the actual political border. And the river, or the Teltow Canal it says here, did represent the border along the area to the west of where I am. I'm standing here having just come over this bridge. And Berlin is to the east of everything that we see here. Difficult to believe now what it must have been like in the days of West Berlin, being a little enclave surrounded by East Germany, including the eastern side of Berlin itself, with the Berlin Wall cutting through from one political system to the other. Anyone daring to make the crossing from one to the other, almost certainly to be spotted by guards and shot. No doubt this central reservation would have had buildings on it with armed guards. Driving on the right, of course, so on my right would have been traffic trying to get in, and on my left would have been traffic trying to get out. Another view up to that campsite, back down across the river. So it's this section of the river which actually was the border. West Berlin on my right and the rest of East Germany on my left. Beyond this point, most of the road vanishes and it's just a small track. Heading east now, back towards the campsite. Almost back at the campsite now. As I said, I've already checked out, so I won't go back into the area, but there is what was originally the lookout post. Guards constantly looking for anyone using the canal as a way of getting from one side of the political divide to the other. Excuse the sun in the camera. This building now hosts the laundrette for the campsite. A sign at the entrance to the campsite inviting people to explore the area. Wanderroute F, Berliner Mauerweg, the route of the Berlin Wall. And if I just poke my head back inside. There we go. One more look at that observation tower. Incredible to think that although the war finished 80 years ago, it's less than 40 years ago that the Berlin Wall was torn down, and fairly soon there won't be anyone with living memory of what that situation was like. I hope you found this interesting. Thank you very much for watching.